night falls, keep your expectations high with NightShot Digital Night Vision Rifle Scope. Made for the shooting enthusiast who want to see in the dark at distances further than any night vision scope priced anywhere near the NightShot. With just windage and elevation, remove the protective cap by rotating counterclockwise. Is an easy-to-use, weatherproof accessory infrared illuminator custom designed for use with Night Owl Optics NightShot Digital Night Vision Rifle Scope. Whether you're varmint hunting or predatory hunting, the IR850NS will enhance your night vision shooting experience.
Trail LRF Thermal Imaging Sight. The integrated precision laser rangefinder can take measurements in two modes: single-time measurement and scanning. High-resolution thermal imaging sensor, 640 x 480 pixel, ensures that even the smallest differences in temperature and the slightest details of the object are detected. The combination of high quality and an advanced thermal imaging sensor provides an unprecedented detection range of up to 8 germanium optics 1,500 meters in complete darkness. 2 zoom modes, smooth zoom for an optical balance between zoom and field of view. The Trail's memory allows adjustment profiles to be saved so they can be used again when required. It stores up to 3 zeroing profiles with up to 5 coordinates each. Trail LRF and accoutrements are subjected to rigorous testing. and proven to withstand recoil energy up to 6,000 joules. High image frequency is important when shooting at moving targets. A high refresh rate ensures motion is fluid and in real time. Whether the environment is freezing cold or blistering hot, the image retains its contrast and vivid colors without loss of frame rate. The video recorder can be manual or set to a recoil-activated capture mode in case the shooter forgets to press the record button in the excitement of the moment. Share videos and photos with friends and family. Quick change, long-life rechargeable IPS-5 battery packs provide up to 8 hours of continuous operation in Wi-Fi mode. Trail LRF from Pulsar.
This is the final product. This is what it should look like. You do have to keep in mind a few key considerations when setting this all up, because you're going to be setting it up off of your rifle. It's just going to be a lot easier to set up, and you won't necessarily be able to get these Allen screws on if the scope is already in your rifle. So take that scope off of your rifle, take it out of its scope rings, and we're going to start setting it up. So this is what the final product should look like. All right, so the first thing we're gonna start with is the scope. We're gonna leave it to its lowest magnification. We're gonna set the parallax down to its lowest amount. If you have a parallax-free scope, that's great. Next, you're going to wrap it in tape. So this one does come with some tape. You don't need to put very much. It's just essentially so that your screws from your the ocular mounting system doesn't scratch it all up, and it gives it something to grip onto. That's what you're going to want. So I just put 2 layers and that was sufficient. You're going to want to make sure that it does fit the scope. So if your eyepiece is too big, it may actually not fit. So these will be the dimensions on the screen. So next step is we're going to be setting up one of these onto the tube. Now, this isn't a 30mm tube. This is a 1-inch tube. So we're going to be putting this on the optic. Now, normally you'd be used to setting these up for your rifle, but you're going to be putting this one on upside down. You're going to see just why in just a moment. Okay, so I'm making sure it's upside down. You're going to want to note that this is how it's going to be going. I don't want to block my turret either, so I'm actually going to be putting this far more forward than I normally would, because I still have the scope mounts that I'm going to need to put on the scope to the rifle. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to probably put it just right about here. Then we're just going to loosen this up, slip this in. We're going to tighten that up later with a screwdriver. All right, now this part is assembled. Okay, so I am going to need to loosen these up a little bit, just so I can slip it on. Now there is a direction on how to put this on, and essentially you want the on-off to this camera. This essentially is a camera. Now my battery is fully charged, and we don't have to worry about the infrared just yet. This in itself is just a simple camera. So we're going to turn it on and see if we are in the right place. My on switch is, oh, the on switch is right here. Okay. Now the camera is on, and this should also be projecting whatever we see. All right, now if you want to know how to put the batteries in, you push this in with your nail, and your batteries are right there. All right. That should be showing you fairly clearly. That's my wooden wall. And so in this case, I'm going to snug these down. This is good to go. Okay. So for the infrared, all you do, take this, loosen it up a bit, mount it in there. And you're going to slip the flashlight in here. Now, if you're not sure how to put the battery in, it just untwists like this. And it takes a 18650 battery, just like in the little screen here. There we go. Now I'm going to mount it fairly forward on the scope, just because I know I still have to put my scope rings on. And it's as simple as that. And this one, you turn it on just by pressing the button. Now, as you should be able to tell, it's a little bit red. Now, you might think that, oh, this beam might be kind of dead, but no, this is actually exactly what it looks like when it's fully functional. I've tested it out outside at night, and I mean, it works pretty good. So let's turn on the monitor. That's my mailbox. Now if we set the parallax out further, we'll be able to make out that a bit better out in the forest. You should just be able to tell those are trees back there. So this is what the product looks like when it's all done. I mean, it works pretty well. I tried this outside and it was pretty amazing. It was pitch black, and I mean, I could make things out very clearly with this infrared system. Anyway, after that, all you do is you mount this on your rifle as you normally would any scope, you level it, and away you go. If you're looking for any questions on troubleshooting, make sure all your cables are plugged in. For example, this one, the one behind the battery pack behind the screen. Make sure your batteries are fully charged. Buy a couple spare. I'd recommend getting at least 6 batteries with this unit. You know, you have one spare for each. Additionally, for troubleshooting, if the image really isn't getting clear, I mean, make sure you set your magnification to the lowest. That's what I did. Your parallax adjustment, if you have one, to the lowest, and find out what your eye relief is on the optic itself. Back the camera so it's pretty much at that distance. I mean, don't snug these up just yet. Move it back and forth with the camera on, and you're going to see pretty much where you need to be. After that, you can make fine adjustments with the little camera on the inside, and you should be doing pretty good. You shouldn't have any other issues. Yeah, so make sure your batteries are all set up, and I mean, this on the screen here, there's some mode and stuff. I didn't have to touch that. It just worked right out the box.